At the very outset, I would like to apologize for being so late today, but I realized that when something is very important from God's point of view, all the negative forces work out. Their plans, how to delay, how to put obstructions, how to bring hindrances, how to deviate. It's very surprising. And today, I think it would be best if I tell you about God's will and how we human beings try to go against it all the time. God's will is extremely simple. He is divine love. He is compassion. He is ocean of mercy. And in His mercy and in compassion, He created this world and then created human beings just to give them the highest thing in life, joy. Joy which is single thing. It does not have duality, like sorrow and happiness, like day and night. But how we are anti-joy and anti-God. And why it happens, we'll have to see that. Our awareness, as you know, grows through our brain, down. And whatever starts growing downward makes us away from God, in a way. Ultimately, we have to achieve God. But first we go a little bit away from that awareness of being one with God, just to understand that freedom has to be used properly. Without that training, without that education, no use giving freedom to human beings. You have seen the free countries. What have they achieved? In their freedom, what have we achieved? Atom bombs to kill ourselves. I mean, it is stupid. It's foolish. It's absurd. But we have done it. And we are proud of it. And still we are busy how to make it even worse and worse for ourselves. This is how we move. The awareness that was our own, human awareness, was given to us for freedom, to be tested, to be experimented, to be seen. And then to have ultimate freedom, by which you become the Spirit. You have to become the Spirit ultimately. But as we start growing in our awareness, so-called, our concern is not for the Spirit. I would say like a tree which embeds itself into its roots. And the roots that we have are in the brain. And then we start growing upward, upward and upward, till the leaves are created, fruits are created, flowers are created. On the contrary, before reaching the fruit stage, what happens to us that we start creating artificial leaves and enjoying them. We take to artificiality. Once this identification of artificiality starts, we start going away from reality to negative thoughts, or to over positive thoughts by which we make atom bombs and all that. So-called positive thoughts, which are actually anti-God. So there are two branches really in life that we branch off. Some people like to go towards the left side of negative attitude, by which they injure themselves, trouble themselves, do all kinds of things by which they can die in the most miserable manner, get all kinds of diseases upon themselves, torture their body, torture everything that they have. And the other side is on the right-hand side, where they move to torture others, to destroy others, to overpower others. Both ways, we are away from God and His mercy and His grace. The concern should be throughout towards the Spirit. Then the movement is in the right direction. But this concern breaks up very easily in human beings because they are free to do it. In their ego, they just break it. The connection, they break it. So much so that when you develop artificial ways of enjoying life, then even the consciousness of God is lost. That He exists, that He has created us, that He is the one who is running the show. We become so conscious of ourselves that we think there's nothing wrong. We do this, we do that, plunge into all kinds of problems, and we don't understand that what we are doing is against ourselves, and ourselves means against God, because God has created us. He loves us. We don't love ourselves. If we had loved ourselves, we would not have ruined our own body, our own systems, everything that we have, by saying, what's wrong? Why not do it? You must love this body of yours, this mind of yours, your society. Everything you have to love because God has created you in His love. But the love itself has become such a perverted word now. What is wrong in promiscuousness? It is love. If I tell that, no, it is not, because it is against nature, it gives you trouble, you will be in a mess. Listen to me, it's not proper. Then people think that this lady is very matronly, she is very old-fashioned Victorian. But it's a fact. Why do things which will destroy you? You can't create yourself, you can't even create a nose for yourself, leave alone the whole body. Then why should we be anti ourselves, first of all? Then why should we be anti the society that we have created? Then against the whole nation that we have created, and nations and nations and nations. What are they doing? All these politicians today, fighting for what? I just look at them, I can't understand what's the matter with these people. Fighting to create more destructive forces, more horrible things to destroy innocent human beings. Those who are innocent are simply worried. They don't know what to do. They don't understand why they are to be dead tomorrow, because some people have gone off their heads. And those who have gone off their heads are sitting at the helm of affairs. And we select them and elect them, all such people who are sitting at the helm of affairs. That's how the negativity grows within us. We become negative. Both things are negative attitude because they negate God. Negation of God is the first crime we have created. We are not afraid of that God or for Him. He is compassion, He is mercy, He is everything. But in His mercy only He is going to destroy the world. He won't allow you to commit more sins against Him. He destroys even otherwise from within. What is cancer? What are all these diseases that are coming in our body? They are nothing but our own destruction forces that we ourselves have built within ourselves are breaking. There is no fear from outside invasion or from any star or from any extraterrestrial attack. No, there is not. It is within us. The attack is built within us, of which we should be aware. In the name of freedom, we have collected within ourselves all the germs of our destruction. It is such a built-in process within us that we are not even aware that they are growing, that they are there. We are quite satisfied with ourselves, with our artificial life, with our so-called etiquettes and superficial mannerism. Innately within us, there resides the spirit which wants to enlighten you, which is anxious to enlighten, to give you the peace, the bliss, the joy of your being. This beautiful lamp of yours, which is being created, is with a great purpose. It has to be enlightened. Respect yourself. There is no respect word left in the dictionary today. Respect yourself. We have to respect this lamp, which has the light of the Spirit, that it should be enlightened. And let us be that lamp that shows the path of glorification of your being. And in that light, we can see God's glory too. It's such a beautiful world He has created for us. Everything He has given us. But we, in our ignorance and in so-called freedom, have ruined so many things. It is sometimes shocking to see how people are going just towards hell directly. For a mother, it is a thing of great concern. How to stop this poor? How to get them out of it? How to make them understand what is your worth, what is your value. You don't take human life for granted. It is a very precious life, created out of many processes. With great difficulty it was created. Don't forget that you have to become the Spirit. Without that, your life is just a waste. The whole creation is a waste. Because you are the highest in the creation. You are the epitome of the creation. And what are you up to? We have to form nucleuses who will talk about Spirit now openly, about God. I was amazed to hear that in this country, people don't like to talk about God. You cannot talk about God. As soon as you say God, oh, nothing. God, that's religion, that's nothing. Can you imagine such a state of affairs where you cannot talk about your Creator? Either you form some sort of a closed, secretive organization where everybody cannot enter into and say, now we belong to certain cult of God. How can God have cults? Just think of it. How can He have separate churches and separate temples and mosques? How can He have? How can we become fanatic in the name of God? Can you imagine? This is what we have done to God. We have become fanatic. There's a stone, when it touches anything, it becomes gold. But there must be a stone. When it touches human beings, they become like prisons. That's why there is so much fanaticism. It's a problem. How to break this news and message that you are the spirit and you have to become the spirit. There's a Marathi poet called Namdev, because my mother tongue is Marathi. And thank God I have been born in Maharashtra, because it's a country of saints. Thousands of saints live in that country. The tradition is so spiritual. Spirituality is the tradition of that place where I was born, in that Maharashtra. Called Maha means the great and Rashtra means the nation. I don't know why they thought of it, but I feel that way. That the tradition is of spirituality, not of alcoholism or drugism or call any other isms as they are. But of spirituality is the tradition in that country, where a very simple poet called Namdev, he was a tailor. Himself was just a tailor, ordinary. And he has written a very sweet poem, which I will just tell you, explain what he says. He says that a little boy is flying a kite in the sky. He's looking at the sky. He's talking to his friends. He's moving upward and downward. And he's discussing things here and there. But his attention is on the kite. Then he says a lady who is carrying her little baby is doing the work in the house. She's giving water to her husband. And she is also sitting down and cooking. Then she's getting up to wash something. The child is on her waist, resting. But her attention is all the time on the child. There's a lady who is walking with a pitcher of water on her head. She's walking with many other ladies. They are all walking together, laughing, smiling, young ladies, talking to each other and discussing things. But their attention is on their spirit. In the sense, it is on that pitcher of water. In the same way, though we have to lead a life here of other things, it is absurd that we do not have our attention on our spirit, which is the giver of joy, the ultimate in life. But as soon as you start talking about something like that, people think that it is something trash, not to be listened to. Most surprising. They want to hear the same mundane things again and again. You see, if it is a broadcast by, say, Conservative Party or Labour Party or another party or any other party, they'll listen to it for hours together. It's such a mundane stuff, every year you hear that. But if somebody says that, no, this is all artificial, you have something much more within you, rise to that point. They think it is something, we have not come to hear all these things, what is this mother telling us? But now awaken and arise. On a different level we have to come to understand that what these people have done so far, and we have accepted it, we have taken it for granted all these years, has done no good to us. We have to rise above this to see there is beyond the horizon a star shining within us, and that is our spirit. People have talked about it, made another cult. Talk about God, made another cult. This time I saw one thing in the BBC, they showed a cult which says they are doing God's work. Doing God's work, and the ladies are tying up their thighs with thorns and things and hurting themselves, cutting their flesh. And the explanation is, just imagine in the name of God doing such horrible stuff. And the explanation is that you must have mortification. Why? Why should you have? Because Christ did it. Are you Christ? And that means Christ, whatever he did is waste. Little bit of yours was needed to add. Whatever he's done is more than sufficient, because he was the prince. And if a prince has to go through the mortification, it's a very great thing. Not for a beggar to go through the mortification. What is so great? He's already done it. He has worked for us. He's just to be enlightened within us. And that's how we have to get to our realization. Now to sit down and to question is very easy. That's the easiest thing to do, is to sit down and ask questions. But best is to get to it. You get to your realization. That is the most important thing today. Of course, under the circumstances, as the human beings are, it is not going to work very fast. I'm sure of it. I have tried my level best. Like mountains, you have to raise the Kundalini. Really, like mountains, you feel so tired and fagged out. But then, they don't want to appreciate it. So, not to feel disappointed, not to feel hurt about it. Slowly and steadily, I'm sure, in your own eyes, people will see the light. People will see how your life is transformed into joy and bliss and understanding. They will see how loving and dignified you have become. And then they are going to believe that there is a better life. The state is so bad for some people. They see, as I told you, a black picture of the whole thing. They are so disappointed that they have given up. They have just given up. They say, now we've finished with it. We've done everything, now we don't want to do any more. I've seen in France, many people are sitting outside and discussing that when are we going to have now the 10 stars meeting together to collapse this world once for all. They're discussing that let us be finished soon now, we have had enough of it, let's have the ultimate destruction, whether it was atom bomb or anything, let us be finished, had enough of it. It is so desperate. I can understand their desperation. Those who are thinking about it, those who are concerned about it and bothered about it. No doubt, one would feel desperate. Even the Saj Yogis sometimes get very upset and get extremely desperate, and they say, give up, mother. Just we finished with it. Now, no more. But I don't know how to remove my attention from the spirit. If you can try, you try your level best to remove it. You cannot. Now you are there. So whatever it is, till the last breath of your life, you will fight to save as many as possible. So all those Saj Yogis who got very frustrated in certain endeavors, I have to say, you should not be frustrated. You have to keep your courage and understanding that if you have feeling for others and if you really show your concern to them, they will understand you and will be able to get more and more people saved, emancipated, and they will enter into the kingdom of God. As you are enjoying, they will also enjoy. Only snag in the enjoyment is that you feel that so many are still lost. Doesn't matter. That has to be made up. We have to work hard. We have to understand that there are negative forces which are pulling them down. They are ignorant. They do not know beyond this life resides the eternal life of beauty and glory. But gradually, I am sure it will work out. Especially for this meeting, they had lots of ups and downs and whole thing was very discouraging. But still, one must understand that God's work is blessed by God. He will render all His help, all His blessings on you to enrich you, to enable you to perform your divine duties. The time is passing. Very little time left now. It's running out. And that's why the desperation is more in people. This desperation itself has brought forth the advent of Sahaja Yoga on this earth. And you should feel more stronger to fight these obstructions that you feel around, and should work out the ultimate goal of this creation. May God bless you.